Okay. All right, everything looks good. We are recording. I'm doing screen record. So if you guys want to do your own recording, because this screen record is hit and miss on the quality. So if anybody else
No,
wants to
don't worry.
record. All right.
Yeah,
yeah. That's all
we'll
right.
go.
Yeah, we're ready when you are, Oliver.
Awesome. Well, thank you everyone for being here. We our newest partners here, PvP Money, have started a crypto casino of sorts, and they've partnered with us, and we just wanted to see what they're doing, because I think they're doing something really cool. Seems like they're doing something new. And also it's going to be mutually beneficial for us as well. And yeah, and they're gonna let us talk about 4Token as well. And so it's gonna be like a joint AMA. But let's start with them first. So Paul and Mark, what how did you guys get into like the DeFi space? Like what kind of background do you guys have?
Myself personally, so my background, I have a degree in computer science and mathematics. I've been in the DeFi space for about the last 3.5 years full time. I made the plunge about 3 years ago, and I've never looked back to the traditional world. Uh, yeah, through two bulls and one bear now. I've been in here building various different things for several different protocols. I've worked with hundreds of different partners, hundreds of different clients. I have my own development company. So I've definitely just been ingratiated in DeFi and the Web3 scene pretty much all day, every day for several years now. So I eat, sleep, and breathe DeFi. And it definitely shows in some of the work that I do. I definitely have a very DeFi mentality in terms of decentralization, trustlessness. I try to preserve that as much as possible with everything. And that applies also to the product that we built that just went live for public beta today.
Yeah, I saw that. Very cool.
Paul, if you want to give an introduction, I think you know 1Token, so they might know you a little bit better than myself.
Yeah, I think so. I think some of us know each other from back in the Seifu days, which is kind of I think where most of us really met, and I think everybody spun off into their own things because obviously that turned into a bit of a crap show in the end.
Yeah.
With the guy that was running it. So Paul Dutton. So like I say, I've been making crypto YouTube videos for about nearly 2-3 years as well, I would say. And I just kind of got involved in it because somebody told me to invest in Cardano ADA one day. I thought it was a good idea to just follow his lead because he was making some money. So I thought, well, let's have a look. And then I very quickly got bored of just playing with tokens and seeing what the news was and thinking, I wonder what else you can earn. And I went down the
Cardano because Cardano sucks.
Yeah, well, back then it was booming. It was at its all-time high, so that's kind of when I got in. But yeah, and I did it on a whim. Followed all of these other tokens and stuff, and then kind of went down the DeFi and crypto rabbit hole. And that's when it started to, for me, it was all about, at the time, Time Wonderland and all of these DAO projects, which were also falsified and not really what they kind of made out to be on the tin. And then I just got into making content about crypto. And since then, I've just been learning about how projects work, how tokenomics work, and really just trying to understand and break down projects because I'm an educator by trade. So I still sort of do educating in the real world. I'm also an analyst and a solution architect by trade. So I'm IT proficient, but not necessarily on the blockchain. And yeah, kind of just paired up with Mark to kind of put some structure around this.
Also, before we continue with this, I just wanted to let everyone here know that people in this space, if you stick around to the end, we are doing a giveaway for the people that were here listening. We're going to be taking, occasional screenshots of the listeners here, and you're going to have a chance to win a good amount of money today at the end of this. So I just wanted everyone to know that.
Yeah, and we'll actually be giving away something as well. So a giveaway from both of us.
Awesome. Yeah, I see we have members of both of our communities in here. It's kind of a 50-50 split, which is kind of perfect for this.
Yeah, fantastic. All right.
Absolutely.
Well, so PvP money. What is PvP money for the benefit of those who have no idea what this is?
Absolutely. So I'd be happy to take this one, Paul. PvP money is, like I said before, I'm definitely big on trustlessness, on decentralization, and making the financial world as fair as possible. A world that's wrought with, fraud and corruption most of the time. And the gaming industry is no different. I'll tell you that. So what PvP money is it was a chance to make a fully trustless, decentralized on-chain casino with some of the best odds in the entire industry. From at least from what I've seen, we beat every other competitor. And the difference between PvP and any other normal casino is the fact that you're not playing against us. As the name suggests, it's PvP. It's player versus player. We are more or less we provide the software to make it possible. You're not actually playing against us. So if you make a bet and you lose, we do not get that money. And if you make a bet and you win, that money does not come from us. It comes from the player versus player ecosystem that is PvP. So in PvP, anyone is able to be the house. The house is a staking contract where you can put up your Matic. And when players win, that Matic comes out of the house for the payout. And when players lose, that money goes into the house and is distributed across all house stakers in an auto compounding fashion. So anyone is able to be the house or bet against the house. And because we have this PvP system, we aren't necessarily incentivized to let players lose. We actually want them to win as much as possible. So we've tweaked the house edges to be high enough to where the people in the house get a good return for the risk they're putting up. Because, again, remember, the house can go up or down depending on how players perform. But one that's lower than any other standard because it is not run by greed. We are not trying to profit from people who are betting with money. We are actually just trying to create a fair player versus player environment where people can take turns being the house or trying to win and bet against the house. And what we've seen so far is pretty amazing. Up until this point, it's been a closed beta. And even with that closed beta of about 15 testers, we ended up getting around $500,000 of volume in just the last 4 days alone, which is pretty remarkable because people are able to win. Yeah, people are able to win far more than they lose comparatively to a different casino. We've had someone in our Discord start with 10 Matic and a fresh wallet and won all the way up to 7,000 Matic, and they are still currently sitting and have bet over over 45,000 Matic to date, with starting with just that 10 Matic, because in this system, everything is truly random. Everything, and this is all verifiable on chain because the entire system lives on chain. So people are able to win a lot more than they lose, and that's something you don't normally see in a real casino, in a traditional casino, I should say, because this one, we're not the house. We're not.
Yeah, no, that's incredible. And so,
You guys hear me?
yeah, you broke up for a second there.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, my screen shut out really quick. As I was saying, we enable an environment where people have a fair chance to win, and people have a fair chance to lose. Every single transaction is truly random and has nothing to do with previous ones. So if you hit the jackpot one game, you have the same amount of odds to hit the jackpot the next game. It is truly verifiably random, and with that comes a few advantages. The fact that it's on chain. There are some disadvantages in the fact of having to sign transactions and pay gas. But what you get from it is you don't have to make an account. You don't have to deposit money in or request a withdrawal. You simply connect your wallet and play. You don't have to give your name. You don't have to give any information, and you don't have to send money into anywhere. It is fully non-custodial. So you quite literally just connect your wallet and play through your wallet. When you win, the money's in your wallet. When you lose, the money's in the house. It's pretty cut and dry in that way, and it really creates a fun environment where you know when you win something that it's yours. You have it. There's some casinos where if you win big, they will quite literally hold your money and make you wait, and sometimes not even give you all of it. I've had this happen to me where I've waited months to get a payout. But in PvP, it's instantaneous because it's all on chain.
Wow, that's awesome. Yanni, my teammate, was asking, do you mind sharing the RTP? What does RTP stand for, by the way?
Return to player, by the sounds of things. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my God, my mic was muted. My fault. Yeah. So A player's individual return, I mean, it is based on the game. Some games have different ones, and they are actually showcased in the game descriptions. So, for instance, slots, the edge against the player is 0.66%, which
Wow.
is far lower than traditional slot machines. Some in-person slot machines can get as high as 10%, whereas online ones typically range from 2 to 5% in terms of the edge.
Wow.
So we've actually made a point to more than have the kind of standard in a sense, because again, we are not relying on people losing for us to profit. We simply let people play against each other in true PvP and in a true decentralized way, which is really cool. And why we're able to do these kind of things, because the people that are putting in the house, they're, whether they want to admit it or not, they're just as much betting and gambling as the people playing the game themselves.
So yeah, Yanni is saying that's very low. He's saying in person is average 88% return to player, and with you guys it's 99.4% return to player. Is that what he's saying?
Well, yeah, 99.34, because it's about 0.66%. But yes, yeah, definitely much higher than anywhere else, and you can see it in the leaderboards. Like our top bettor, for instance, he's bet over about $250,000 already, and he's actually up about $7,000 profit since he started. So even with very large quantities of bets, just having the house edge, the typical 2% down to 0.66, results in an infinitely better experience for the players. It's crazy how the difference between 1% and 2%, or 1% and 0.6%, how much of a difference that really makes in the long run and even in the short term.
Wow, that's insane. So, I mean, because obviously there's the people that are staking want to make money, the people that are playing want to make money. Not everybody can make money. There's got to be someone that's losing in this.
Absolutely. Well, it's truly random, and sometimes it does happen. And you know what's actually interesting? Like, even though it's completely random every time, and this is all verifiable on chain, by the way, because the entire game is made of smart contracts. There's not a single backend service running that manages all of this. The front end at PvP.money just quite simply shows you in an appealing way what is happening on chain. So there are some people somehow still that just are inherently unlucky at this. One guy in particular, I don't want to name drop names, just can't seem to get his break, whereas some people just threw in 50 Matic and they're at plus 5,000 profit right now. There's actually quite a few of them. And we've had some pretty...
Oh, I think you're lagging, bro. Yep. We couldn't hear the last
or 4
or
3 or 2. The tune. You didn't hear that. Can you hear me now?
We can hear you now. Yes.
You can? Okay, so all I was saying was what people are probably wondering by being in here is, how does this benefit one token or 2 token, 3 or 4 or all of them? And there's a specific way that it does, and actually several different ways, which is why we're up here today. And kind of what the purpose of all this is why does it matter? You know, if you're a bettor or if you're not a bettor, why does it matter that this partnership exists? And the main reason that we're doing these in general is because we had 2 choices when we were making PvP. Do we want to have our own protocol, our own token, and have our own community? Or do we want to open the doors to everyone and let any community benefit from this, just like our own token would, but make it a collaborative and even a competitive space between various communities? And that's exactly what we've done. So with PvP, you're actually able to play for a specific community to benefit that community's standing in quite a few different ways. So when you go on to pvp.money, you're able to select a partner you want to support. And by default, if you go to pvp.money/1/ONE, you will be supporting the one token protocol. And what that means is every time you play a game, whether you win or lose, 10% of all revenue generated from your gameplay. Now, this isn't 10% of your buy-in, it's 10% of the revenue generated, gets just sent to one token in real time to be used to buy back and burn, given as extra rewards, marketing, whatever the team sees fit. And this happens in real time as you're playing games. And this will happen across all networks as well. So if you wanted to get some extra support for one token, you can always share that direct link, pvp.money/1. And whether people know it or not, they will be contributing to the deflation, to the rewards, to everything of one token by
Very
default.
cool.
And one of the other areas where one token benefits is every time a game is played for a specific project, for one token, for instance, it gains points on the partner leaderboard, which isn't shown on the front end yet, but is absolutely being tracked in the back end, in the smart contract, that is. And at the end of every single week, the top 3 tokens on that leaderboard get 10% of all casino revenue across all chains, across all projects, or all players as a massive cash injection at the end of every week. So playing for one token gives them 10% in the short term of all revenue from you and the other community members' games. And it also boosts their likelihood of getting a massive cash injection at the end of every week that's reflective of the global casino revenue. And like I said, in the last 3-4 days in our private beta, we did about 500,000 in volume. So these can actually do some decent numbers now that we've opened up beta today to the public, and we're doing our first round of public beta. So we're excited to see kind of how those numbers start to look.
That's insane. That would be like a significant amount of fees. Like, I mean, coming
It very well
to the
could.
project.
Absolutely. So, as a project lead, Oliver, I might ask, what would you think would be the best way to use these recurring revenues in one token? Would you give it as rewards, or would you put it into the token to deflate it, raise the value? What would you recommend?
I don't know, Yanni. What do you think? Maybe.
Marketing is always an option.
Yeah. Yanni is saying it depends on the situation at the time. I mean, obviously, we want to do everything. We want to market, we want to deflate, we want to, burn the supply down and pump the tokens and stuff. So, yeah, I guess, like Yanni's saying, it would kind of depend. But funds coming in would be amazingly helpful. That's what we're always looking for is passive revenue coming into the ecosystem.
100%. Yeah, and that's all that you can do as well. So whether you guys play actively yourselves or for people by sending that link, anytime those people play games, the value will go to you guys in real time to be used however you see fit. Right now, we're on mainnet, but later this week we will launch on Binance as well. We were going to launch on Binance earlier, a few things came up, so right now we're just on. There's pros and cons to various chains. We are excited to get the PC version out there as well. Currently, it's probably on mainnet until around Wednesday of this week.
That's really quick that you guys are getting on Binance. That's awesome. Yeah, we love Binance. Yeah,
me too. Where my network mostly is as well. Polygon was mostly chosen for once back, and it's actually really nice in a way for I mean, the gas times and everything else that BSC doesn't kind of have to deal with having a static gas price.
Oh, can't hear you again, buddy.
Okay, sorry guys. If I don't touch my computer, it just falls asleep on me sometimes.
Yeah, I have to keep moving the mouse every few minutes.
I lost my train of thought. It was about regardless. Anyone who uses it will contribute to the passive revenue streams of the one token protocol, and including referrers as well. So if you guys refer people with the PvP.money/O and E-link, every time they make a bet, and then out that percentage of revenue flows in real time over the one token team. So you definitely do some individual marketing on your own to bring this around to build revenue project. PvP is all about passive income and generating. And in our NFT line, was used fundraising at the beginning to get the legal side handled definitely. Offers 10% of all casino revenue real time as passive reward. So if you guys are getting the top of the leaderboards every week, you'll be getting pretty much the cumulative sum of the NFTs. That's a massive injection every single week. And your community definitely seems like it has the size and the numbers to make this possible. There are some other pretty communities that might be able to run for it. So I'll be excited to see when that leaderboard does come out later this week, where everyone stands and how it's looking as a whole.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm seeing in the comments something that I was going to get into next. what kind of legal measures do you have in place to allow gambling online and like around the world? Because I think in some parts of the world it's not legally allowed or something. Like, is there a way around that?
So as of right now, we are following local laws. We are an official company registered in Costa Rica. So there are rules and regulations we have to follow in terms of which territories are allowed to play. It's based on which IP address we're connected to the site from. So for instance, the United States is unfortunately on this list. We really don't want to piss off Uncle Sam, that's for sure. So definitely make sure that it is filed. Now, you can see if you go to VPN and you get the location restrict page, you'll be able to look at our terms of service and see which countries are blocked at the current time.
Did you say the United States is blocked?
Yeah, the United States is blocked pretty much for most online games, for them in general, unless they have an in with game commission or something. It's pretty tough to open up in a legal way to we are abiding by legal laws, and especially when the US does hate the fact that we have no KYC, and it's fully just an anonymous connection and with no accounts, no creation, anything like that, no deposits, fully non-custodial. But depending on which country you're from, you'll be able to get in pretty seamlessly. And you do have a list of countries now on the terms of service page.
Okay. All right. And let me see. Blacksmith was saying, can you use a VPN? Is that? I guess that can't be.
Theoretically, you can.
Yeah.
I recommend that we try not to obvious laws, but your IP address coming from anywhere you set it into. So the actual site itself would not be wise.
I got you. Well, I don't actually know where Blacksmith is, but anyways, all right. Let me see. And you answered what blockchain. So what are some of the you already mentioned slots, and you guys have mentioned some of the other games to me, which are really cool.
We kind of broke them a little bit in terms of on-chain casinos. So you see a lot of dice and a lot of random games that are pretty standard input-output. We definitely wanted to flex my stability muscles a little bit and create pretty cool other games as well. Such as we have different modes of block, and we have all the on-chain. We are coming out with 2 games this week, actually. One is basically just nothing crazy there. The other one is the on-chain roulette, which is just people usually see in casinos when they play. So red, black, even odd, and the numbers or even the fractions of numbers as well. That game's going to come out probably early this upcoming week, so next week.
Is the roulette, is that didn't you guys weren't you guys telling me about like a Russian roulette game or something? Where
Yes. So we have different types of game modes. Roulette one is actually paused for now. Our grows just got out of beta today. We'll got out of closed beta. We actually just opened the doors to public beta a few hours ago. And once we fill up the Discord a little bit, we'll be reintroducing Russian roulette and it takes all of our PvP games specifically. But for now, those are hidden. And those will be announced. We're going to be doing pretty good game nights for those as well. But for now, as a player, you have a few options what you can do. If you don't like gamble, you don't like to take big risks, you can always contribute to the house. So remember, I said before, the house is fully decentralized. It is more or less a staking contract in a way, where you can put in your Matic and you win as players lose, and you lose as players win. But over time, the house does have an edge in its favor. So it should, over time, play out according to the math. So in the short term, you never know what's going to happen. But over enough transactions, you have a very clear picture as to what's going to happen, which is very cool. And we're able to see it live. The house is actually already up 45% or something, and after just a week or two of private beta, which is really interesting and fun to see. So the house definitely it doesn't have that much TVL right now for the volume. We're at about 48,000 TVL in the house with $150,000 of volume a day. So it's definitely a roller coaster in the house right now. It's not as smooth, steady as you would expect, as it will be when there's more TVL. But yes, as that TVL grows and matches to a point where it can sustain that level of volume, we should see it be a little bit more predictable in terms of the return per day, instead of it just being a wild roller coaster like it is currently. But the reason why the house is so small is because, again, we were in private beta. So the only people that were able to actually contribute to the house were the same people betting against it. So we hope now that the house is open, we will have some more traditional investors being able to come in and help contribute to keep it from being so sporadic with these rapid price movements that you can see in the house page. So yeah, if you just go to pvp.money/one, that's ONE. You'll be able to play any game on there, and in doing so, we'll be supporting in real time the one token and ecosystem, whether that be extra rewards, buybacks and burns, marketing funds, whatever the team thinks is best. And if you say, okay, if that's a little bit above your risk level, you can always add to the house and bet against the people betting on the platform. Now, you're not just going to be betting against your peers from one token. You'll be betting against all the players of PvP overall. The house acts as one unit. So you put your funds in the pool, and that house is what people play against.
Okay. Wow. And Jack, whose name is Barry, I don't want to say his name. He says, I want blackjack that pays GOAT token, which is 4 token.
Yes, so blackjack and card games are actually on the roadmap for a little later. We're actually in the middle of developing a fully on-chain version of Texas Hold'em, which is a very difficult feat, believe it or not.
Yeah.
And with that is actually going to come our abstracted out on-chain card game type module that we'll be able to adapt to all card games types, including blackjack. So the problem with card games on chain is the fact that the cards have to exist and their value has to be a secret until it's revealed. And with things being on chain, everything is public. So how do you keep something a secret on chain? Well, there is a way to do it using zero knowledge proofs. But it requires a very large infrastructure to set up, probably way more than anyone would guess when just hearing, oh, just poker on chain. It's actually a lot. So we've been putting in a lot of time and energy into it, and we still got a lot more to go, but that is absolutely on the roadmap as
Cool.
One of our flagships is doing fully on chain Texas. Whoever just said
Who's
that.
poking who on chain?
Yeah, whoever just said that made my day. That's hilarious. I'm not gonna say that quote. Never mind. I almost said a little derogatory, but it's never mind. Not now. Not today. This is not the time.
And Yanni is saying cryptography. I guess that's one way of hiding the on-chain data.
Well, yes, but it's a little harder than that. With zero knowledge proofs, you're actually able to do it a step further, where you can prove that the data exists, but you don't reveal the data until the end, which actually aligns a lot better with things like Texas Hold'em and blackjack, rather than just like hashing the results or cryptographically encrypting the results. Using ZK proofs is a little bit better in that regard at protecting the data and letting the game run, knowing that there is data to be decrypted. And yes, me too, Tartan. Texas Hold'em is my favorite card game of all time, by far.
Yeah.
When that is live, I will be most likely the most active player in that. I am decently good at poker in person. I've never really tried it online, but for actual crypto, being able to just in a decentralized way buy in with my wallet and then play with other people is going to be too much fun to pass up. It's definitely my favorite game as well.
Yeah, my goodness. When you have that up, it's the volume you guys are going to see is going to be nuts.
It's already definitely exceeded our expectations. I'm sorry, Paul.
Yeah.
I'll take a break.
No, I was just going to say, like, if you consider, I mean, you've probably seen this yourself, Oliver, and probably a lot of people in here. In all of the Discords, a lot of communities will often go off and do their own sort of like community game nights. So they're off, playing things on Twitch and marble runs, and most of them will also go and have poker tournaments, right? But they're playing on tools and systems that are more centralized in a typical world. Black boxes. You don't really know how it works, how the rake's working. It's not fully verifiable on chain. If we can crack this, we'll basically have the almost the first version of that, or at least the one that we're aware of, that we could get other communities to play that in. So when you bring
That'd
the
be
tournament
fun.
structure into games like that, it could be absolutely massive. And that's kind of what we're hoping for.
And Barry is saying he'd like me to be the dealer. So I guess I don't know.
You have to have cigars and whiskey and everything, though.
Yeah.
It's part of the dress code.
Absolutely. Toro just said you need to have a game night on Twitch, Oliver streaming. That is what some community members have been doing as well, has been doing the streaming, and they've actually found a lot of success. When people see how easy it is to just connect your wallet and play, no need to send in money anywhere. You don't have to trust us or anyone else with it. You can read all of the contracts and see exactly how everything operates. Um, that is a really big selling point for a lot of people. So it's funny. I still have the instinct to be like, it's rigged if I lose, but then I know it's really not, and I can verify it all myself. So it is fun to see that, and to actually have a real chance of winning compared to a lot of these online systems that benefit from you losing. And we have the exact opposite approach. Since our platform profits off volume, we actually want the user to win as much as possible. And that benefits our NFTs, that benefits us. It benefits One Token and all of our partners for larger weekly payouts and larger royalties going over to them in real time. So this is kind of the first casino where the owners of it, the quote unquote team, wants you to win more than you lose, which is a really cool
Yeah.
concept and one that I'm happy to explore.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's a very, very good concept. And so you mentioned NFTs. What are those about?
So the NFTs at the beginning, they were really helpful for fundraising to get some of the initial funds needed to incorporate legally with this kind of a system. And for now, there's still a bunch unminted. We don't really market it. We don't really talk about it in Discord. We don't talk about it on Twitter. It's kind of like a if you know, you know thing. The NFTs get 10% of global casino revenue from all chains. Right now, we're on Polygon. We're going on BSC this week, and then we're going to be on Base next, with pretty much no end in sight for which EVMs we're going to support. And all of those fees from all of those chains, 10% of it is bridged back to Binance and converted into BNB and distributed to all NFT holders and in real time. So you'll be able to quite literally look in when the NFT claim section of the app is live. You'll be able to quite literally look and watch your balance grow over time. And that, unlike the house, the NFT value can't go up and down. It just will accrue over time. So you don't have to worry. You don't have to claim it right away. It'll just sit there and add value in true passive income sense.
So there'll be like a claim DApp for claiming your rewards from these NFTs?
Yes, well, it'll be in the site. You'll be able to, if you have NFTs, you're going to have a menu option that other people don't, which will let you see your NFTs, list it for sale in a marketplace. We're adding in the app as well, and claim any pending rewards that you might have from it.
And so
NFTs
the
help in a
the
few ways as well too. NFTs give you a boost to your leaderboard score and also help boost any project you're playing for. So if a bunch
is
of one token holders that play own NFTs, one token will get a much bigger boost to their leaderboard at the end of every week.
and is there a set number of these NFTs, or is it just like unlimited?
Yes, there's only 1,000 of them. They go for one BNB each. There's been about 240 sold so far, and like we said, we don't really talk about it because
Okay.
those 240 gave us enough to make sure that we were able to get to this point. So there's another about 759. I think there's 241. I might have misspoke there. There's about 700 left of them, and they're just existing right now. They're unminted, so for now, the actual rewards per NFT are higher. So NFT token holders are loving the fact that the rest haven't been minted because it means their percentage of that 10% cut is even greater. So there's
Let me
1,000 right now for 10%, and there will never be more than 1,000. And if there ever was, it's actually written into the receiver to allocate 10% per thousand. So let's say, for instance, we wanted to open up another 500. Well, then instead of getting 10% of revenue, the NFTs would get 15% automatically.
Oh wow. Okay. So it'll always be the same amount. And that's
Yes.
10% of the revenue that the house or that the project takes in is divided amongst the NFTs.
Correct. Yes. So to date, since beta, NFTs have about $800 so far, just from 5 days of beta for the most part, with only
Is
20
that
users.
is that per NFT or is that divided among the
Oh,
240?
that is total. If that was per NFT,
Okay,
that would that would require a lot more
just
volume.
just clarifying.
No,
Okay,
definitely.
well,
And
very cool, very cool.
so yeah, the NFTs are pretty cheap. One BNB, it's about $500. So yeah, it's not going to be hundreds a day per NFT. That would be a ridiculous ROI to uphold. Now that's just currently. In the future, who knows? We are exploring several partnerships on several chains. So we'll definitely see where this can go and see how many rewards we can get for these NFT holders. But for
I
right now, in
mean,
terms
yeah,
of the ratio of volume to players is astronomically high. And I think the main reason for that is because of the low edges we have on our games and the user's chance to just win and win and win.
no,
We've seen people
yeah,
start with 10 Matic and play tens of thousands of Matic worth of volume in games just from being able to win large amounts and then play with that over and over again. So it's been really fun to see.
yeah.
Um,
No, I think just how you guys are doing this is revolutionary, and I mean, I think this is going to be massive. So,
Thank you. Yeah,
these NFTs.
we definitely want we definitely hope so, of course, as well. We're definitely trying to do everything right in a way that still benefits the player and the ecosystem. Um, and yeah, we're really excited. And with that, honestly, I would love to kind of get into what people in here could win today by coming over to PvP. So people from the one community. So that means people with any of the tokens. You need to hold the tokens 1, 2, 3, or 4 that come into the PvP Discord and play a game in support of one token, so that one token can start earning fees. Uh, will be able to open a ticket in the Discord and post, your wallet and a picture of you playing. If we're gonna check, make sure you have one token in there, or one of the tokens, I should say, whether it's staked or not, whatever the system is. You will be able to win $25 in free slot spins on our most fun slot machine, the one with the highest payouts, which is Meme Coin Madness. So, in pretty much just let us once you open that ticket and paste your address, and we verify the data on chain, we will be able to mint you 25 free spins worth of that 25 Matic worth of spins, I should say, of one of the most popular games in the casino, which is really fun. It's a toss up between slots and Plinko. We have a lot of really loyal Plinko fans and a lot of very loyal slots fans as well. And in addition to that, Paul, I was even thinking potentially of giving an opportunity to win an NFT for probably the person that contributes the most from this community of the day today. I know we do have some NFTs reserved for giveaways, and working with a token like this, it would seem fair to potentially put that on a line for someone who contributes the most value for one token over the next 24
Wow.
hours. What do you think about that?
Absolutely, yeah. We're all for sharing and caring, and
Yes.
yeah,
Wow.
go.
So so there we go. It's official. So the person from one token that so the first 10 people that go in and play that have one token in their wallet, as long or not, sorry, I know there's so many tokens, but you know what I mean. If you support the protocol one way or another, or if you came from this
Yep.
Discord, if you play at least one game in support of this project at pvp.money/1, you will get 25 Matic in free slot spins on Meme Coin Madness. Just open a ticket in our Discord and we will get that over to you. And then the person that contributes the most value towards one token in the next 24 hours actually gets a free PvP NFT. And remember, there's only 1,000 of them, and so they probably will go quickly now that we're officially getting out of beta. Like I said,
Wow.
getting into a
Yeah.
public beta. Everything's
Yeah.
been private and token address guarded for the last few days, so no one's been able to see any of the games, any of the results. So we're definitely expecting those NFTs to go quickly now that we've opened the doors up to people.
Yeah, I would say so. That's awesome. So the link is already active for one token?
Yes,
The
sir.
Wow.
I believe, did you ever supply the wallet for to go to? Because I made a temporary wallet for all projects that had not done that yet.
I forgot
I'm
to.
You forgot to. Okay, so I have a temporary wallet right now that I made for each project that's receiving it. So please send me over one that you would want to receive the fees to, and I will hook that up right now before anyone plays anything.
That would Yanni, if you can try and get Lucky's attention, he's the one. Lucky's our treasurer. He's the one that would supply the wallet.
Wonderful. So make sure that is an EVM wallet that can support all chains. So an EOA. A multi-sig would be a little dangerous for this, considering you don't always guarantee to have the same address across different networks from a multi-sig wallet.
Yeah, it's a single wallet. Lucky controls that. It's a lot quicker to have it in a single wallet than a multi.
Oh, what a good name for this kind of a space. I wish we had him up here. I wonder how lucky would be at PvP.
Well, I think he would.
Although maybe we shouldn't want that. I don't think you want your treasurer gambling. Now that I think about
it, he would only use his own funds.
Of course, I know. I'm just poking fun. But yeah, there's PvP in a nutshell. I wonder how 0.73 Matic, yeah. Plinko is a little hit or miss. Sometimes you'll win big, sometimes you'll make barely back your buy-in. It's all luck based, and you just see how things are going out. I know that one of our top better actually hit something that seems almost mathematically impossible. He hit on the total degen mode on Plinko, the ends give you 100x your buy-in. He hit that 100x 7 out of 10 times and ended up profiting $7,000 from it within the span of 30 minutes, which was just insane. I did the math. It's about a 1 in a trillion chance of that happening. And he hit it. And afterwards, he stopped getting the 100x and he messages me and he's like, "Did you turn off the 100x?" I was like, "I can't do that. It's all you can look on chain."
So when someone wins that much, does that hurt the house much? I mean, what's
now, since the house is pretty low, it did make a dent. Ideally, when the house is at a sustainable TVL, it wouldn't matter at all, because there's max buy-ins and max payouts set in the house, so the house is protected to a degree where it can't lose more than 1% or X%, depending on the situation, of its value from one win. So it is protected against someone just getting extremely lucky. No one could ever just drain the house. But yes, you are right. Winning that much in that succession, the house was not large enough to not be impacted from that. So that did hurt it a little bit, but it actually just bounced right back afterwards.
Very cool.
I guess he soaked up all the luck for that 6-hour period, and within 6 hours, the house was back to the same level it was before, which was really interesting to see.
Wow.
And that might have been him just continuously betting after, because he was messaging me asking if I turned off the 100x, which of course, if you look at the contracts, is impossible. And I was like, no, just no human is able to win it that often, 99% of the time. I mean, I've played 100 games of Plinko. I think I've hit the 100x 3 times.
Wow.
So him hitting it 7 out of 10 was quite remarkable.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Barry said he's still waiting for him to give the luck back. Barry is a very good friend of ours. He's been helping us since we were on testnet only, before we actually did our beta on mainnet. And I don't want to speak for Barry, but he's just had he's one of those people that has not had the best of luck. Always. Wow, someone already hit 1,062. It's amazing. Was that a 1,000 buy-in, if you don't mind me asking? Just curious.
How much is a Matic worth right now?
It was around $1 when we started,
67, I think. It took about 67 cents.
That was a 100 buy-in, you said?
100.
So with $100, he just made $600.
No, he just made $1,000.
Holy crap!
Oh, 1,000 Matic.
Excuse me, yeah, 1,000 Matic. I always value Matic in terms of dollars. For some reason, it's just how my brain.
I do as well.
Holy crap!
But yes, 1,000 Matic. That is an impressive return. Honestly,
wow.
That's incredible. That guy.
Just for reference, you're making Barry feel bad, by the way. Can you slow down?
At this rate, he might be the one that wins the free NFT. Because now he's got funds to keep throwing in. Congratulations, awesome. Blacksmith. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Blacksmith doesn't need the money.
He's our biggest holder of Prisma 1 NFTs.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, yeah, he's building the portfolio. Nice.
Wow.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's one of the first ones, so he's most likely going to get 25 extra Matic of free spins on Meme Coin Madness. which is really
So
funny.
he's asking, how do I claim if the screen reverses?
So if anything goes wrong for whatever reason, all the data is still on chain. If you click on your profile, so depending on if you're on mobile, it looks like you are. If you click in the top right, there should be a little profile icon. You should have a way to go to your profile, and that will show you all of your game history, which includes your total buy-in, and your total wagered, and your total won for all the games. And you'll be able to see all of your previous games, and you can actually click on them and re-watch them. So you could rewatch a fun slot spin or rewatch a Plinko drop, and then you would still have the option to claim at the end. Or in that same profile tab menu, you are able to see a claim button where you can just directly claim whatever winnings are in there for you. So just so you guys know, it's all handled on chain. You don't have to trust us to send you any money. It's all within the smart contract. So the value never comes to us. It's fully non-custodial.
Wow, that is amazing. Huh. Well, that's really cool. It seems like our community's already making money.
Live stream, yeah, and same with the one token. If they're playing 4-1, not off. Yeah, no. But like I said, wow, that's actually a pretty devastating one. Did you go total degen with those 3 balls, or did you do a different game mode? Total degen has the opportunity to pay out a lot, but it also has the opportunity to pay out a lot less because there are a lot more buckets at the bottom, so you have a lot more chance to get under 1x of a payout, but you do have that 100x option on the sides, which is only possible within the game mode.
So wait, Blacksmith, I guess he gambled $100 and he did total degen. Like, what was the potential of loss there? Could he have ended up with like just $10 from that 100?
The lowest possible payout you can get is 10%, because if you look at that screenshot, the very middle peg, the very middle bucket is 0.1x. The lowest you could ever get, and that would be as if all 100 or all however many balls were dropped all hit that 0.1x mark, which is very unlikely. So that is the lowest you could get if you were extremely unlucky and every ball went right to the middle. Likely they're going to hit the other ones as well, the 0.2, 0.3, 0.5, and 0.8s. So you'll probably get back more than 10% if you lose, most likely. That would be a pretty remarkable. That'd be like the inverse of getting a jackpot if you were to hit all the 0.1s. But that is the theoretical lowest amount you could get back from a game.
Okay, cool. Well,
Anything
cool.
Total degen is for wimps. That is true. I mean, it's still been the most popular one. It is scary with the lower ball count though, because there's so many more buckets that are under a 1x payout. That it's sometimes you got to just yeet in 100 of them at a time. So typically, if I go under 100 balls, I'll stick to maybe what are the other ones? Either average or daredevil mode sometimes, but I guess that makes me a wimp.
So Cyril, our developer, I guess he made 0.07 Matic. That's
Oh wow, big returns. One time, yeah, no, it was funny. I once went on a streak of betting 100 Matic and getting back 100.1 like 3 times in a row, and that was like barely gas. So it just infuriated me. Yeah, those are always the least satisfying. It's like you either want to lose big or you want to win it all. Really, no in between. And if that's your mentality, definitely try out slots. Blue Chip Boulevard has some. It's a lot higher of a risk reward than say Meme Coin Madness. Meme Coin Madness has higher jackpots, but they occur less frequently. And with Meme Coin Madness, you're actually able to win back partials of a buy-in, so you actually have a 52% chance to win something on every spin. Whereas Blue Chip Boulevard, that odds are about 37.575%. The odds are shown on the app. I'm trying to go off memory here. But the larger payouts happen more frequently. So you can choose whichever slot machine works best for you. The Meme Coin Madness one was added yesterday. It's our newest one. Blue Chip Boulevard is the old classic. And there's been some pretty impressive wins there. I saw one yesterday where someone bet 5 Matic and ended up taking home $17.50. On the slot machine. They did 15 5-matic spins, I should add, and ended up taking back $17.50 at the end of it.
Cool.
Definitely not 60% house advantage. That is quite large. 0.66%. So divide that by 100. The house edge should be shown. Is it not shown in Plinko? I know it's shown on the slot machines. The Plinko edge is pretty much the exact same as the slots. It's 0.66%. I'm trying to think if there's any mode that is different. Yes, there is one mode that is different, and it is guess the number. Guess the number is a little bit larger of a house edge at 1.25%, just because of the your ability to win 80% of the time. Because with guess the number, you can select 1 to 5, and you can guess up to 4 out of 5 numbers. And if you get it right, you get that payout back. So if you guess 1 out of 5 numbers and you get it right, you get 5x minus that percentage. If you get 4 out of 5 numbers and you get it right, you get about 1.22x you're buying back, with an 80% chance to win, which is really cool as well. So guess the number is the only one with a higher house edge than 0.66%. But you're right, that should be all on the front end. Like I said, this is an open beta still. We're constantly adding new games, new features, and new screens that we want to. So I will definitely make sure that to add all those into that game details page. So it's all transparent for you. And also, you can always check the chain and look at the games themselves and do the math yourself if you want to. All the data is open source and all public. So there's nothing being hidden here. No lack of transparency by any means.
Cyril is saying I'm slightly psychic and use it to beat the number guessing game over and over. Will that bankrupt you?
Well, you are welcome to try. There has been many people that have tried. I know Barry has probably put in several days of his life at this point. Yep, he put it there trying to game guess the number to little avail, but it's definitely worth a shot. Barry did have a winning strategy for a little while, actually, that he might share with you, but that's up to you guys. I'm slightly psychotic. Does that give you an advantage? Actually, most likely, sometimes I've gotten extremely lucky when I'm just manic at the end of a losing spree and ape it all on like guess the number 1 to 5 and somehow win it. Sometimes a little psychosis is never a bad thing.
Cyril says he takes that as a challenge.
No, definitely. Get with Barry first. And please remember, guys, this is still a public beta, so don't put in more than you're willing to lose. As far as we've known for the past several weeks of testnet testing and then the last week and a half of mainnet testing, everything should work exactly as intended. But please remember, this is a public beta, so we are still in testing. Now, we have had no indication that anything can go wrong in terms of the smart contracts, but just remember that that's what beta is for. So please just be careful, guys. I mean, from what we've seen so far, everything is buttoned up and perfect. But until we get some more data and we get through this beta phase and we go officially live, just make sure to keep that in the back of your minds and make sure that you guys are safe and responsible still, at least during this stage. It's definitely important.
All right. Cyril was just saying he got an error trying to join the game when he only selected 2 numbers.
So sometimes Polygon is a little. Oh, that looks like a Wallet Connect. Wallet Connect error. Try to ignore those if you can. Sometimes Wallet Connect just yells at us for no reason. Wallet Connect V2 specifically has given us a lot of headache.
I think he's using Trust Wallet.
Sometimes with Polygon, there is times where the gas will jump when your game is being submitted, and it will actually fail the transaction. The game should kick you back out to the screen and tell you that it failed and to try again. And usually, if you try it again, it will go through. It has been a little bit of an issue for us, and we are actually working on a quick fix that should be able to estimate the gas ahead of time and give it a little bit of a buffer. But sometimes, some of these things happen. Sometimes these happen. But when we move to BSC this coming week, that should resolve all of it, considering BSC is a little bit more centralized and doesn't enact in that gas war like most other EVMs, like Polygon, Ethereum, Base, etc., all do. Where, on BSC, the gas price is always one GUI for the most part. So it's pretty standard in terms of, is your transaction going to be submitted? Is it going to be mined in the next block, etc.? So BSC should have a little bit of a better user experience in that regard.
Okay. All right. Cyril is he's just finding out if there's finding out how to break stuff, I guess he's saying. All right.
No,
So
that's
if
literally the main point of a beta is breaking stuff. So we welcome that entirely.
exactly.
Break whatever you guys can, try to game the system, try to do whatever you can do. It just ends up helping us make the platform better before we go officially live. So I really appreciate Cyril for this stuff. We're currently still developing it to make it work better on some of these a little more annoying and high maintenance chains like Polygon. I never knew Polygon would be so annoying to work with until until building on it, which is a little reason why I'm excited for this stuff as well. So let me yeah, I will definitely investigate these a little bit further. Yep, it looks like a gas limit value was returned as null, which we don't specify the gas limit anymore because that caused a lot of errors. So that would be a wallet on the wallet to estimate, which is interesting. But we will definitely look that over. I already saved that photo, and thank you so much for throwing it out for us. I already actually saved it to my file system, Cyril, so you don't have to DM it to me. But if you find anything else, feel free to DM me with anything. Like I said, I really appreciate the testing. That's pretty much what this is right now. I mean, we've gone through about 2 months of beta on testnet to make sure that the contracts themselves and the system works flawlessly. And we've been on mainnet for about a week and a half, 2 weeks now. So we definitely have we know that the core functionality works. Right now, it's pretty much just buttoning everything up and making sure it's a flawless experience for everyone.
Nice.
The error showed up before the MetaMask pop-up. Interesting. Okay. Yep. We're gonna keep we'll keep investigating and make this platform better over time, but definitely appreciate all the input that you can give for now. Yeah, we're a growing team. I definitely have a lot of experience building dApps, but I'm not a web dev by any means. I'm definitely more on the Solidity side. I've been full-time Solidity developing for 3.5 years now. So in terms of the dApp, I know my way around JavaScript definitely, and I've helped build the majority of it. But I will be reaching out to the rest of the dev team on the back end to kind of help button some of that stuff.
Cool.
Yeah, the smart contracts themselves were my creations. And if any of you guys like Solidity or like reading code, definitely give the smart contracts a look through. I'm very proud of my work there, and I have a feeling that you guys will be impressed and will like what you see.
Nice. He said he did a refresh and it worked fine. It worked fine. So just a sec, guys.
Yeah, sometimes what we've noticed is when we tested it on Binance, these gas issues never arose.
Hey,
so
buddy,
it might
can
be
I call
something
you
that
in
we
like
have
10
to
minutes?
specify specifically for MetaMask.
Look,
MetaMask is able to evaluate
I'm still doing my
BNB
interview.
perfectly fine for some reason. I don't know why it has such an issue with Polygon, but it's part of the active development phase we're in right now.
All right, look, give me like 10 minutes.
The only thing
buddy.
that we really like about Polygon specifically, yeah, aggressive gas. Yeah, we tried that at the beginning, but the gas was a little too aggressive with how it was doing it. When we try to manually set limits, and I remember one time Polygon went up to it was literally like 3 or 4 days ago, Paul. I'm sure you remember when Polygon went up to, it was like 600 Gwei base.
Yeah.
Which is just insane. So our like overestimations of gas were like 800, and it was costing several Matic to do transactions just because of the sheer congestion on Polygon. It was when it first dropped 30% down to like 70 cents or so when the whole market crashed a few days ago. Gas was just out of control, and BNB was still sitting at 1 Gwei gas. So I was longing for the Binance chain. Only thing I like more about Matic, I'd say, is the user experience of playing with whole numbers of coins and winning whole numbers of coins. Something about betting 100 Matic and winning 1,067 looks better than betting 0.1 BNB and winning 0.8 BNB, if that makes sense. It's more tangible with those kind of numbers.
All right. Cyril was having fun, it seems.
Why not go to stablecoin? We were thinking about stablecoin. The reason why we didn't want to is because of the just the gas in general. When you're playing with the native token and you win it back to your wallet, it definitely refunds whatever gas was spent at the end. Whereas if we were betting with a stablecoin, eventually you would need to you'd have to keep the wallet filled with BNB and or Matic and have to constantly top it off, which would kind of be an annoying user experience. So what I think we're going to do instead for the BSC chain is we're going to have a toggle to let people switch between seeing BNB value amounts for the buy-ins and wins and US dollar amounts for the buy-ins and wins. So they'd be able to toggle between it depending on what they want to, depending on the way they want to see it. And that might be the best fix for that kind of issue. Yeah, because MetaMask really does not like trying to estimate it. So we are looking into ways to do this. We had a fix in there that did make it fail barely ever, but the problem was it started failing constantly if the gas reached a certain threshold. So it's been a constant battle with Polygon, believe it or not. Like it's been a battle for days to get that in the right spot, but that is part of the testing process, and that is something that we're going to be getting resolved. And what I've noticed too is some users have a lot more issues with this than others. Specifically, Paul's been battling with it today, but it has yet to happen to me. And I'm number 2 on the leaderboards. I've bet about 50,000 Matic on this platform already, and I've never had a failed transaction, which is very interesting. I'm not sure if maybe my MetaMask likes me better. I really don't know why or how that could happen. It definitely makes testing difficult when you can't recreate the issue to try to see if it's fixed. But we keep rolling out little patches, and it fixes it for some, and for some it causes new things. So it's an iterative development right now, but all of this data definitely helps. So please feel free to keep sending us whatever might go wrong for some of you.
All right, and Cyril says he has some potential collab partnerships for you guys if you want to DM him.
Who is this? Absolutely. One thing about the platform is if you refer a project or a user, there's a referral system built into the platform as well. Anyone you refer, you get 10% of all the revenue they generate in perpetuity. So if you bring on an entire partnership or an entire project, you would actually get 10% of their entire community's revenue in perpetuity, which, depending on the size of the partner or the community, could be a substantial quantity over time. So it's definitely a good way to utilize your networks to bring in some extra passive income if you guys are connected to either large whales, large gamblers, or even communities of people who you think might be a good fit. I'm referring Bitcoin. So who is this that said that? Oh, here we go. It was Cyril.
Cyril, yeah, he knows some people. He knows 1 or 2 people in DeFi and crypto in general. So.
All right, I'm going to send you a DM right now, Cyril, and so you know that it's me and not a fake DefiMark, because God knows when you start a project, there's a million fake Discords of yourself. I'm going to send you a message that says,
Cyril, take the wheel.
What should I say in this? I'm going to say meme coin madness. Okay, I just sent you a message saying meme coin madness, so now you know it's me.
Butte is making money. Awesome. That's cool.
Oh, so someone else win? Let me check. Good job, guys. Yeah, like I said, I hope you guys like it. You know, sometimes you'll get lucky, sometimes you won't. It's just the nature of the beast. Definitely make sure you play responsibly. Don't put in more than you're willing to lose. It is a gambling style platform, so definitely be careful. It is not an investment by any means. It is pure luck and RNG based.
Naraf is saying you winning my money.
But yeah, no, thank you guys, and definitely looking forward to continuing this with 1 token. And once we get that address from the treasurer, the funds will be automatically going into the hands of Oliver and company, so they will be able to utilize those best to help the ecosystem, whether it's extra rewards, buyback and burns, etc. And for a little bit of reference, if you guys had referred our top 3 players, several thousands of dollars would have already been made for the 1 token ecosystem.
Good
so
Lord.
if you guys are big, yeah, I mean, some of our top 3 have bet several, like over 300 something thousand Matic already.
Wow. So if a bunch of people from our community use our link, I mean, there could be some considerable funds coming to the treasury.
It could be thousands per day, potentially, depending on how many people do it. So it could be enough, you know, if you get some lucky people, or even if you just refer enough projects, and you guys get 10% of their revenue as well. It could be enough to really jumpstart. And that's kind of what we wanted. You know, we could have taken all of this and just funneled it into a token. That's what a lot of casino projects do. They have their own token and they just pump it. But instead, we wanted to make this a collaborative space where communities could compete against each other. And so we give all those fees that would go to a token back to communities themselves to help other projects and to help our partners. And we think that that's a really important thing for for the space overall. There's no good business relationship that isn't mutually beneficial. You can't get too greedy in business, which is kind of the root of all of this.
No, you guys are exactly the type of partners that we look for. So this is awesome.
I love to hear
Very
that.
cool.
It's great.
Yeah.
I'm very excited to see how you guys perform. The partner leaderboard isn't out yet. That's coming out this week. But don't worry, all the data is still being tracked in the smart contract. So don't worry that it's not going to be noticed. All of this information will be on there, even games being played right now. We're just fleshing out the UI for it a little bit. To save some gas on transactions, we don't necessarily write it all to state anymore in a leaderboard. We pretty much emit events and then track those events with bots. And it definitely ended up saving around 30% of the gas doing it that way, which was a very welcome change. So
cool.
we're still fleshing out that system a little bit. Yeah, before we had a fully on-chain leaderboard, and man, that was a bad idea. It cost so much money and gas to update. So we've been perfecting the platform over time, and I had to throw out about half of my smart contracts because at the end of the day, a lot of them were unnecessary to track on chain. And a lot of it can be fetched via events and watching the blockchain with event listeners,
Cool.
subgraphs, etc.
Cool.
Solana network, as of right now, we're sticking to EVMs. It would be cool to integrate Solana in the future. Solana is definitely more built for real-time gaming in every way. But personally, most of our networks right now, at least for me and the rest of the team, are on EVMs. So we're sticking to that first. It's going to be our main proof of concept until we get account abstraction, poker, specifically Texas Hold'em, and what was I going to say? And the rest of the goodies in there. That's when we would look to expand to other types of blockchains. But yeah, coming up soon would be we have 2 new games coming out this week and next week. We also have, like I said, on-chain Texas Hold'em in the works. And one of the main things that we're trying to add as well in the near future is account abstraction. So people that have never heard of MetaMask, have never heard of anything to do with crypto, can create a wallet fully non-custodially via their email address with social sign-on, and they could fund that wallet with a credit card if they wanted to, and they could off-ramp it directly to their bank account as well. We are partnering up with Spritz, which is a really, really, really good on-ramp and off-ramp provider. One of the best I've ever seen. They do instant payouts to any bank account within 10 seconds. And it doesn't even have to be your own. You just give it a routing and account number, so you can pay bills that way. You can do everything. So we're baking this in with our account abstraction layer, so that we can let users that don't know anything about crypto or signing transactions play a little bit easier. Now we'll probably have them play on a chain that's not Polygon in the back end. They won't know what they're playing on because they don't care, because if you go the account abstraction route, you don't know anything about crypto for the most part. That's usually the audience you go for. So we'll have them play on a chain with a little bit higher success rate of transactions, most likely BNB.
Cool. All right. Well, Cyril has a bunch of people to connect you guys with.
Awesome. Absolutely. I would love that. Yeah, I'm always looking for networking and partnership opportunities. We're very collaborative as a project. We don't have our own tokens, so we're not trying to compete with anyone else. We're just trying to bring everyone in and let them battle it out together and help them out in the meantime as well with some passive income and more or less a new utility. And moving forward, actually, in the next coming months, we're actually going to be creating our partner white label solutions that will let anyone use our partner tokens in the games. So you will have a house to stake 4 or 1 or whatever token you guys designate, and you will be able to use those tokens when playing slots, Plinko, Guess the Number, poker, any of the games that we have coming up, and playing against people in the house. So it'll be a way to lock up supply without having to give out rewards yourselves, and it'll be a way to utilize that one token. And you guys could set your own custom fees as to maybe X% of buy-ins get burned, so on and so forth. That'll be up to you guys. And that's coming within probably 1 to 2 months from now. Once we're publicly live and running smoothly, that's where we're going to start integrating the partner tokens themselves. So that's something really cool to look forward to as well. But for now, you guys get funds in Matic, which is very good because that definitely, and Matic and BNB, because that's just direct value. But when this is live, you'll be able to receive your the partner payouts in Matic, BNB, and the token, depending on which games are played.
Awesome. Well, all of that sounds amazing. If people want to learn more, where do they go?
definitely join our Discord. And you have to join our Discord anyway if you want to get that giveaway. So remember, the first 10 people that submit a ticket with their wallet address and we verify that they have played for one token, they get 25 Matic and free slot spins on Meme Coin Madness, which is really fun. And the person after 24 hours that bets the most amount of Matic in support of one token specifically, so you have to play for one token for this, will get a free PvP NFT, one of 1,000.
Cool.
So definitely join our Discord. I'm not sure if we have the link anywhere. I can put it in the chat here if that's all right with you,
Paul
Oliver.
already got you. Paul already beat you to it.
Oh, you did?
And
Wonderful.
yeah, and we'll make a channel for you and in our partners area, and we will put up the link as well to use the one token link for the link I think is above somewhere.
Wonderful. So, with all that being said, do you guys want to? I mean, I see some people in this audience are from our Discord as well. Did you guys want to have a chance to talk to some of them about your project and some of the things you guys offer?
Yes, please. I mean, this went a little longer than I was expecting. So yeah, if we could just briefly go over our tokens, that'd be awesome.
Please do. I'm actually curious to learn more as well.
Cool. Let me see. All right, I see the PvP money on X. Okay, cool. Yeah. So our ecosystem is actually made up of 4 tokens. It's called the one token ecosystem because it started with our first token, which is one token, which is a low supply deflationary token, which led us to 2 token. 2 token is paired with only with 1 token, and it creates like arbitrage trading opportunities there. It acts like as a hedge against 1 token. So like 1 2 token, for example, is worth almost 16 1 tokens right now. Eventually, it'll be worth 100 1 tokens. So just holding 2 token, all of a sudden you're gonna have a lot more 1 tokens in time. 3 token is another low supply token that we created, and the 100% of the tax of 3 token actually goes to pumping 1 token, and then since 2 is paired with 1, we can actually pump 1 and 2 simultaneously with the same funds, because if we buy the 1 token and then swap it for 2, we can pump both of them. So that's what 3 tokens main job
Man,
is.
you guys must have an arbitrage bot set up, right?
No, we don't actually.
If you guys want one, I actually created a fully on-chain arbitrage as a service system, which lets anyone basically you would fee exempt the bot from fees so it beats the competition, and it will do arbitrage across any pairs you give it, and it will kick 80% of all profits back to the project, and it keeps the rest to pay the liquidity providers of the arbitrage bot. So if that's something you're interested in as well, we could definitely let you guys profit from the arbitrage within your own ecosystem tokens, which is very interesting. And if you want to have a separate conversation on that, Oliver, I would love to.
Yeah, I'd have to talk to Yanni and Lucky. I don't want to do anything that's gonna like harm our own investors or anything. Like if it's
Oh, it
not
wouldn't.
having
It
to
would
pay
just make it
fees.
so right now arbitrage happens either way, but it's just random mev bots that get the value. With this kind of a system, you guys take full control of your own arbitrage and you're able to use it as extra profit. So you'd be able to, instead of all that money being taken by mev bots, you would be able to get it back in BNB and be able to utilize it however you see fit. Um, and the arbitrage bot that we have for it, it doesn't sell the token. It buys from one pool and sells to another pool to stabilize the price. But yeah, really cool stuff. And with all these different tokens all moving, it actually seems like a really good fit for this. Now, I'm not trying to sell you on anything else. I just wanted to throw that out there in the ethos for some of the people here that know more about arbitrage as well. I'm sure they could back up what I'm saying here, but I think it could be a really cool experiment to do with several different tokens all paired in LP like this. It kind of just stuck out to me immediately. But I'm very sorry for interrupting your explanation of the token. It's just whenever I hear of cool opportunities, I can't help it. I always love to jump in.
That's quite all right. That sounds really cool. So we will definitely talk to you about that. Yanni and Lucky are my teammates, by the way. I'm like the face of the ecosystem, but Yanni and Lucky are the brains. So like I always like to have them kind of have these discussions with people because they know all the ins and outs of everything, and I just sit there and watch. But that sounds very interesting. So yeah, that's 3 token is there to support 1 and 2 simultaneously, and then 4 token is the one that we just recently put out 1 week ago today. It launched on Friday, and it is a BNB reward token. So it has a total supply of 4 million tokens, so it's a relatively low supply. And it has a 14% tax on buys and sells, and a 4% transfer tax, and 100% of those taxes get swapped for BNB and sent out to holders. All of it is automatic. You don't have to do buys or sells to get your rewards or anything. All you have to do is hold 1,000 or more 4 tokens in your wallet, then you automatically receive those rewards every time they're sent out. And the volume that we got on the first day, I think we had over $20,000 of volume the first day. I think there was a payout every 2 hours that first day, because the schedule of payouts is every 2 hours if the threshold is reached, and the threshold is ridiculously low. I think it's 0.01% of the LP depth, which currently is like not even $70. So I know it's 0.2%, Cyril, but 0.1% is the token side, and that's what triggers the threshold. We've been watching it for the past week, and yeah, it's so if the liquidity right now is like 70,000, so that means like $70 of tokens collected by the contract triggers a swap to BNB, and then the next time a 2-hour period rolls around, it sends out those rewards automatically to everybody that has 1,000 tokens or more. So it's really cool. You're like just watching the BNB in your wallet rise on a daily basis, and it's all automatic, and it's been working perfectly. Cyril is actually the one who developed 4 token for us. He developed 2 and 3 token for us as well, and it just works beautifully, and it's been a wonderful addition to our ecosystem. Our treasury actually holds 25% of the supply, and Lucky actually bought a little more of the supply at launch. And 100% of the money 100% of the BNB that comes into the treasury is actually going to be used to pump all of our tokens, and also like do marketing and whatnot. It's 100% is going to go to benefiting the ecosystem. So we're just getting the word out about it, and just trying to get as many people to learn about it as possible. The price is still super cheap. We launched at like 4.4 cents a week ago, and I think we're sitting at like 4.7 cents or something. So the price is practically still launch price, but we've still been doing a few thousand volume every day. So it's been doing really well, and this is just the beginning. We're just getting the word out,
Awesome.
and I think this thing is going to take off like crazy once people learn more about it, because there are other reflection tokens out there, but they pay you like in the token itself, which can go down in value pretty rapidly if people start selling their reflections and whatnot. What this token does is it's paying you in BNB, and the sells are so small that it will never affect the price more than 0.4% each time the contract does a sell. So it's just a bunch of small sells to get those rewards, and it's just working really well. It's really cool.
Awesome. Yeah, no, that's great to hear. And any metric that you guys have too to increase the amount of rewards getting given out, or at least increase the buy volume, would certainly help this new token. So that could even be a source of PvP revenue as well. Is just put it back into 4 to get it going and get people excited. Because everyone loves to get the opportunity to buy at launch and then just see where it goes from there. So that's awesome that you're giving everyone that option.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean that is definitely something we'd love to just get some more buy pressure on 4. So if there's something that we can do with you guys that just puts buy pressure on 4, that'd be great.
Yeah, when we're on BSC, you can even automate the process. So all the fees can go directly into buying and burning or giving it to the distributor for the BNB rewards or anything like that as well. Like we're able to set up any kind of automation system that you want. But for now, what we're doing is just sending the wallet to be bridged over. But when we're on BSC, when we're on your chain, the automation possibilities are endless. Whatever you guys want. And also, we just disputed the first three free Matic giveaways. Not Matic spins, so 25 Matic free spins have been attributed to the first three people already. That's created a ticket in our Discord. So if you guys go over to Meme Coin Madness, you should be able to see that you have free spins, and if you queue up 25 Matic worth, you'll see in the button it'll say create free spin. So you can do any combination of spins to add up 25 Matic. You can do less than it. If you do more, it's not gonna treat it as separate as you're paying for it. So make sure that you stick to 25. So you can do 5 spins in 5 Matic. If you do 25 spins in 1, it's entirely up to you.
Very cool, very cool. That is awesome. Well, we're gonna do a giveaway of our own. We do it a little simpler. So I'm going to let me see. How can I do this? I'm gonna write down a number. Actually, I'm just gonna type in. No, I gotta write it down. Hold on one second. Let me get a piece of paper. Okay, I'm back. I'm gonna write down a number between. No, don't start guessing yet, guys. They know how this works. The number is between 1 and 100. I'm writing it down right now, and once you hold on, I'll say start to start guessing. Once I say start, then start guessing, and the person that gets it right is gonna win 1,000 4 tokens. Okay, and I will turn my camera on to show you guys that. All right, look, it is written on there on the other side of this. That's not the number. Okay, so start guessing now. I'm gonna keep my. Holy cow! People are typing quickly. Holy cow! Holy cow! Well, I want to make sure I got the first one. I don't see it yet. I don't see it yet. Oh my gosh! I'm so far behind. I don't. Oh boy. Oh boy. All right. I still don't see it. I still don't see it. Dang. I picked like the one number nobody's guessing. I have not seen it yet. I'm scrolling this in order, so I want to make sure I get the first person that guessed this, because I've been wrong before, and then we paid out 2 different people because I felt bad that I told the wrong person they had won. Oh, man. Nobody's gotten it yet.
If I tune back in tomorrow, will it still be going on?
Oh, Serenity got it. Serenity got it. 24. Good job.
Want to know a number funnier than 24?
Good job, Serenity. You won 1,000 4 tokens, buddy. All right, you guys can stop guessing. Good job, Serenity. Awesome. That's really cool. Serenity's a good friend of ours too. All right. Awesome, awesome. Serenity is actually who introduced me to Cyril, and Cyril became our dev. It is 24. Yep. All right, cool. That is how we give away stuff. All right.
Love it.
Well, Serenity, if you can just DM me your wallet address, and we will get that 1,000 4 tokens to you, my friend. And thank you everyone for being here. Do you guys have any last words before we wrap this up? My son is waiting to play Fortnite with me, so if you guys want to just say some final words.
Thank you guys so much already for looking into stuff and for testing out some of the games. We're still processing tickets for those 25 free Matic and spins. We've already given out 3 of them to some of you guys, so hopefully you can go on to Meme Coin Madness and see that live. And don't forget, the person that contributes the most Matic in support of 1 token at the end of 24 hours will win a free PvP NFT, one of 1,000. So that's a 1 BNB value, which is really good. If you guys are interested in PvP NFTs, feel free to visit mint.pvp.money. It is we don't really advertise it that well. It's kind of in the background thing where we save a lot of them for partnerships and stuff, but definitely want to give you guys the opportunity if you wanted to before we fully blast this. Like, we have just started our marketing just like today. Honestly, today was our launch day. So you guys are literally one of our first partners that we're going live with. So very much looking forward to seeing how we can benefit your ecosystem. And if you guys have some degens in your community, it might just bring a really good source of passive income to the project. So that's why we're doing this. That's what we're hoping to achieve. So I'm looking forward to working together and pursuing our relationship over time.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm excited. Well, guys, it was a pleasure talking to you. It was a pleasure getting to meet you, Mark, and Paul, talking to you again. And yeah, we will definitely keep this conversation going. And yeah, really cool stuff ahead.
Thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
All right. Thanks,
We'll
everyone.
talk soon. Cheers. Thank you.
Cheers. Thank you, guys.
See ya.
Bye-bye.